Go.
Hey everyone, it's What's the Odds with Steve Renazizi for January 7th, 2021. It's strange to say that. I'm the host, Steve Renazizi. I'm joined by my friends Brenton, Emma, and Lucas. And look, every week we try to, I come up, we don't really talk about everything that we're going to discuss on the show. So I pick the thing I'm most passionate about and I start there. And there were a couple things to choose from, but I wanted to start with, obviously, people can see, for those of you watching this, I am in the Capitol building with some friends of mine. We're still here. I don't know what you're seeing on TV, but we're still here. But look, here's what happened. I told you guys last week I had some shows in Arlington, Virginia for New Year's Eve and the day after, and Arlington's 5 minutes from Washington. And while I'm down here, I'm doing my shows. I had a great time. Thank you to those who came out. But I happened to run into a couple friends who, they kind of taught me some stuff I didn't realize about the election and how it was stolen and how it was completely rigged. And they told me, I'm like, I'm not coming back up to New York, Trey. I gotta deal with some stuff down here. And me and a couple of my good friends, we took care of some shit yesterday. You might have heard about it. We stormed the Capitol, and we went to take back democracy. Apparently, nobody was there. That's the best part. Nobody was kind of there to really to block us. I mean, a couple people sprayed some gas, but I was fine with that. I've gotten farted on by the kids before, so that's nothing to me. So I just forged forward, and I got wild. It got pretty fucking wild, guys. And we sent a message to everybody that we're not going to take this shit anymore. We made our point. I think we got our point across pretty fucking clear and loudly. Some people got, stole shit. Some people went into offices they shouldn't have. I was allegedly stole a podium, which I didn't.
That was you?
Did anyone see, Lucas, do you have a picture of the guy that stole the podium?
I do. I got.
Yeah, if you could pull that picture up, you'll clearly see that it's not me. Although I've gotten about 100 emails and Instagram messages saying, "What did you do last night?"
Yeah, it looked like you in a wig.
Well, he's got to hide his identity a little bit.
It's clearly you in a wig.
It's look, guys.
Everything adds up. You're literally there. You put on the wig. There's Steve.
I kept saying, like, it was
a wig
Steve
and a Trump hat, and that's Steve. I mean,
100%.
I mean, the hair is, but it's like it's Chip Gaines or it's me, and we're still. And I thought it was a medal. I'm like, I didn't see the whole podium part of that thing.
It's like if you mashed up Chip Gaines and Steve Renazizi, that's what you'd get.
And look, this is why the podcast is a day late. Usually we drop this thing on a Wednesday, but today's Thursday, so we had to wait. I had to get, my friends and I had to get cleared out, and
we were all confused yesterday. They were like, "Hey, we got to push the podcast. I got stuff to do," and we didn't know why. Now we know why.
And now you know why. And look, this is a place where I literally want to clear the air. So, we took back the democracy last night, and I think we showed America who's fucking boss. And now you know. But in actuality, I was flying home yesterday, and we were on a plane, which great. By the way, Mickey is the JetBlue mascot. Okay, so anyone that was against me during this whole thing, which seems like years ago, you can go fuck yourself, because that flight, that airline loves my dog. Okay, and he loves them too. We had another wonderful experience. The only thing was tough was security getting through, because New York was on high alert, so they checked our anuses and everything. But it was great. We got on the plane fucking early. We got off. It was great. And on the plane, they got all the TVs. So I'm watching, DirecTV was, in my seat, and the kids are watching their movies, and I'm watching this thing. They're counting the votes, and I go, "Oh, this is interesting." And then we got in the car to come home. And by the time we got home, it was we got some lunch. We're sitting down. I go, "Let's watch," because now this is the part where they actually say, like, "Oh, this guy's the president." And I turn it on, and it's fucking chaos. People are climbing The walls, people are like smashing in the front door, which, by the way, I thought you could never do any of that. I was in DC on Saturday. I drove because I wanted to see like the scaffolding for the inauguration and all that stuff. So I drove around, right, in my rental car, and I'm thinking, I'm not even going to pull over. I'm just looking at, because I'm like, I don't know where to stop, and I don't want to get arrested. I'm like, I figure this is on high fucking alert. No, these guys just fucking went right in. Now the kids were eating fucking Chick-fil-A, and they're like, what is this? Is this normal? And let me tell you something. If you have a child, there's a 95% chance yesterday that you lied to them, because I flat out lied to both of them. I said, look, it's not completely normal, but it's like a wrestling match. I'm like, like how they kind of know who's going to win, but they still want to go through the motions anyway. I go, it's kind of like that. But meanwhile, I'm like, this is crazy town. And this is what I expected on the night of the election in a grander sense, but like, this is crazy. Yeah. And it was, wild. Like, and it just, I followed that whole, that Georgia sort of Senate race just a little bit. I was, after the whole election, I kind of was like, I can't fucking, I don't have enough of me for Georgia as well. I'm like, they'll take care of Georgia. They got Killer Mike down there and Stacey Abrams. They'll figure shit out. And so, but Monday night I was home and I was watching CNN or whatever, and they were showing Trump's speech from Georgia. And then he brings up Kelly Loeffler, who was the lady running for Georgia Senate. And she just gets up there and she's like, oh my God, on the 6th of January, I'm going to Washington. And I'm saying no. And I'm saying, no, you cannot steal this election. And I'm going to, but he spoke for like an hour, and she was almost like an afterthought at her own rally. So I'm like, how could you love someone or be that in bed with someone who treats you like that so publicly? And then I watched her speech last night, and she got up there and she was like, look, I fully intended to come here. Basically, she's like, I fully intended to come here to say no, but then like this shit got wild this morning. And it's almost like she's like, I didn't realize that we were in harm's way, like that we could physically be injured. I never thought anyone would ever come. So like, I didn't know, like, almost like I didn't know that my incendiary words were going to light this fire, and there was actually going to blow my way. So with all that being said, I'm not going to, I'm not going to, try to veto this or take back these electors or whatever. And so,
you mean she basically said, I didn't know there were consequences for my words?
Exactly. Like, for what I said, I had no idea that people were going to, and I'm not even saying consequences, because I think she knows, but I don't think she thought the consequences would be directly
affect her that directly.
Yes. Like, yeah. I don't think she would have done it had like someone gotten stomped down, like where they were actually holding the rally. I don't think, but like, because they were coming in violently towards them, I think that's the only thing. And it literally brought me to something that Ari said like 5 years ago. He's like, no one's going to realize till they start climbing the walls and killing people. And I was like, I'm not saying do that, but I'm saying like that little nudge right there seems to straighten everybody out. When you go directly at the gates of where these people physically are held, you know what I'm saying? And how the fuck you can get that close or that in
apparently
was remarkable.
Easy.
I mean, look, like people like the guy that jumped the wall at the White House and got in, that got tackled. He got like in the front door and then like didn't know which way to go, Like,
almost
I thought,
like they don't think people would assume they could be
do
that
it.
bold, so they'll never do it. And I think that's true for most people, but it just takes that one person that's like, I'll fucking try it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I guess maybe
a hell of a security measure.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the guy that runs the place, when he tells you to go down there and bust the doors in, maybe they go, well, now we'll do it. Like he told us to do it. Look, I feel terrible about the people that got killed. I had no idea there was 4. I thought it was only 1.
I didn't either.
Yeah. It sucks. It totally sucks. I mean, but it's incredible that it took all of that for some of these people to kind of go, wait a minute, I don't think this guy's well-intentioned. Like, they're talking about invoking the 25th Amendment now to get him removed for the last 13 days. Because,
he's officially off of Facebook and Instagram for 2 weeks. Zuckerberg banned him indefinitely.
Yeah, till it's over. I already saw he's tweeting out via someone else.
Yeah,
like it through a third party. He can't keep his mouth shut. And plus he can't go. Like, I don't know why he doesn't just go out and make a speech, but I think he thinks I think he knows he'll just start saying the wrong things again.
I will say the odds that he will be banned from Twitter permanently are currently at plus 200.
Who's taking that bet?
Permanently?
Like forever.
Let's parlay it into the weekend games.
Holy shit. Permanently, I would not take that. I don't think he can do that. I think at some point you'll get like a Supreme Court.
He'll just get someone to do it for him. So it's not technically him, right?
That's what he's doing now.
A million ways around that?
That's what he's doing now.
That's right, Rogue. Rogue gets it.
No censorship.
She understands. Look,
Rogue for president.
I'm not into censoring anyone. I don't want anyone to put, but if you're truly inciting riots, then I think that's something you should look at.
There is the difference where, you and I can say anything we want on Twitter because we're idiots. But when the guy who is basically the face of the country and he has the nuclear codes and he could say the wrong thing to the wrong person in another country who also has their codes, then it becomes a sticky situation where literally a tweet could start a war.
I think these guys all know.
That's where we're at in the world.
I think all the social media platforms know that we are very, very close from them being able to be sued for libel for things that people say on there that are not true. Mm-hmm. They can't be now, but it's coming down the pike where it's going to happen. And so I think that along with everybody else, they're trying to maybe perhaps get on the right side of history by being like, well, at the we censored him when it really got everyone is figuring out like, this is. He said before I wouldn't lose, I wouldn't lose any sort of favorability points if I shot someone on Fifth Avenue. He believes that. So to him, it's like, this is sort of, these things happen, but I think other people are now distancing themselves. But I don't, the only reason he's getting banned is because of what happened yesterday. That's literally what it's going to take. And so I think that because these companies know they're going to get sued the fuck, for so many different reasons, just like every other media outlet gets sued. So as they should, and that's the way it's going to be. And so I'm glad that they banned them. I'm glad that, for a time being, but I don't think it's going to happen for the rest of his whatever career, life. I don't know, the 21st. What happens after that?
Right.
Do they pull it then?
Ooh.
Do they pull the ban then? It's like...
Well, I think from what I understand, he was suspended for 12 hours and he has to delete a certain number of tweets that they had flagged. And if he does that, then he can come back on immediately. If he refuses to do that, then they just continue the ban. So it's really on him just to delete those tweets. And if you go to his Twitter page, they're the ones that are marked like this has been removed. And it gives a reason why if you click more.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's wild. This whole thing is.
This is how I saw this series ending, though.
It's true. It's true because think about it. Everybody bitched to how great The Sopranos was and how shitty the ending was. But I never had a problem with it. But I felt like Trump was probably one of those people who was like, fuck The Sopranos. The ending wasn't good enough. And the election didn't go his way. And it's sort of like he's fighting in court, but that's not a juicy ending. And everyone's like, oh, fuck. I thought we were going to get this big sort of drag him out of the office ending. And he was like, yeah, well, I'll show you motherfuckers. I'm going to walk down the block and incite a riot, push everyone that way and stand back here and go, whoops, what happened?
Yeah. Politics aside, the man's a showman.
Look, that's why I don't think that these companies are going to ban him from social media for the because he's 1 years old and he figured it out faster than everybody else.
Traffic. At the end of the day, all they care about is traffic because that's how they make their ad revenue. And that man drives traffic.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And look, for a guy like Ted Cruz, who showed yesterday, Ted Cruz is a very smart guy. Ted Cruz realizes, hey, I can't win the presidency on my own. I look like Count Dracula and everyone hates me, but I can get 20% of people. I know I can do 20 to 30%. Now, if I can get my own 20 to 25% of this fucking country and I can have Donald Trump hand me his 20%, well, then I got to win 4 or 5% and win the presidency. And that literally what him and that other guy from Missouri, Hallie, have basically gone, that's my game plan. I want his blessing and his 20, 25% of people that literally will do anything for him and send them my way. And I can collect the people that I have and I'll win an election. And so that's their game plan. I mean, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. To think about these guys and go, like, I understand what they did was wrong, morally wrong. They're pulling out a point where they're ripping at the country so hard to see what's at the bottom, knowing that there probably isn't going to be anything there, not caring about the consequences, but they're not stupid because they realize that they can gain momentum just like he did. And they can do the same thing in a different way, a smarter way, and probably a more dangerous way in 4 to 8 years. And they're positioning themselves for it because look, Trump's probably not going to run again, but he still, I think will have, even after all this, we'll still have 15 to 20% of the country that would do anything that he said. And that's the way it's going to be. Speaking
of the fund that he started to stop the steal, reportedly is over $250 million.
Yeah.
And so that can just go in his pocket.
Yeah. And if you needed to start a media company because you've been silenced by everyone else, and that's a pretty good nest egg. I don't know how many satellites you could buy with 250 million, but I'm sure you can get something off the ground. I mean, look what we did with this podcast. We had $100 million what we started, and we're almost one of the sloppiest podcasts in the fucking world. Mm-hmm. So my kids were like, are those people, are they happy? I go, oh, they're excited. Everyone's so excited. I go, this is democracy, guys. Everyone gets excited and they want to cheer. And you know what? Some people just get a little overzealous sometimes, but everyone's on the same side as fucking tear gas is coming out, fucking slamming shit in. I go, it's almost like Yankees, Mets. Ooh, we don't really like each other, but so I lied right to him because what are you going to do? I mean, if you've told your fucking kid, your 8-year-old kid yesterday or a 6-year-old that like what the hell's really going on, you fucked them. It's they can't process this shit. I mean, some of these fucking
do their teachers at all like address any of it? Like, do they talk about it on school or on their remote schooling or anything?
Not in my school, not really. I mean. I think they touch on some issues here and there. They'll have to write a report about inclusiveness or things like that, but never write your opinion about yesterday's wild events, and where you they're not there yet. I don't think they want them breaking down that shit yet. Again, there are probably kids that are smarter than I am when it comes to all this shit, and so be it. But I just don't think I told my kids, I'm like, this is just sports rivalry bullshit.
This is sports rivalry, but as politics instead.
I will say our new Speaker of the House, Buffalo man, looks like a Bills fan.
Who's Buffalo?
Did he jump through a table?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy? Dude, first of all, let me tell you something. That guy, I guarantee you right now that guy is on The Bachelor probably in next season, whenever he may not be the next Bachelor, but he will be a Bachelor contestant for sure. 100%. He's no crazier than Princess Victoria, which we'll get to in a little bit. I can't dive into that right now. I still have so many fucking things that make me angry. Oh, did I just curse in front of Lucas? Did I curse in front of your family?
You did, but I've done it before many times.
I apologize. I don't mean to start the new year
Wait,
off like
could
that.
your mom hear that through the ear pods?
I saw someone come in at the end, and I don't know who it was, but
She can read lips.
okay. Look, I know. Whatever. If yesterday was fucking crazy, and I don't know how people get that. I would say I don't know how people get that riled up, but after watching Philadelphia's fourth quarter performance, I truly, if I
would have stormed the Capitol building,
I would have stormed. If the Capitol building was Doug Peterson's office, we would have come through the fucking door, and I probably would have had just as much support from the Philadelphia contingent, as I would have from the New York contingent. The only people that have been stopping me are the fucking DC Capitol Police, who are inept. I should have done it. I should have fucking done it. I should have done it. Look, again, the Giants, and we're switching subjects. The Giants didn't win enough games to make the playoffs. They're not a playoff team, okay? I understand all of that, okay? They don't deserve to be in the playoffs. That being said, to quote Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. You play to win the game. You don't play to because what you're doing, you don't play to go, well, I want to see this, I want to see that. All these guys you're sending out there, the guys that you aren't evaluating or watching, they're still risking their careers, possibly getting injured. For what? For what? To win? No, not to win, to be evaluated during a regular season game. I mean, and look, even if you want to evaluate, I get it. When they went for it on fourth down, I go, okay, this is not going to be a traditional game. Instead of kicking the field goal to make it 17-17, Jalen Hurts still in the game. They're on fourth and goal from the 4, I think. And instead of kicking the field goal, they went for it. I go, all right, you know what? I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Okay. You're not going to make the playoffs. You want to win the game. So you go to play to fucking win the game. You're not playing a tie. Okay. But then Hurts comes out and this fucking guy comes in against the best defensive line, unarguably in the division, possibly in the whole NFC. Okay. And so now you're sending this guy against Chase Young and what the other guy, Easley who's on the other end. It's
Montez Sweat. Yeah.
It's Montez Sweat. Yeah. It's like they ate him up and he throws the pick. Okay, great. And then they don't score. The defense holds up. And then they come down again, throws another pick or a fumble, whatever it was. And then so I'm like, okay, well, you saw what you needed to see. And even within 4 minutes, you still had an opportunity to win the game. You could have brought in Jalen Hurts again. You could have fucking said, you know what? We're going to give it our all. We're down by a touchdown or 6 points, whatever they were down. Let's go try to tie or win this game. Even if they fucking scored a touchdown. If they brought him in and scored a touchdown, which I think would have tied the game, or they got 6 and they would have had to kick the extra point of tie. Even if they went for 2 and didn't get it, I still would have fucking respected him more. I would have respected him more for having to go for it. Not to just go, fuck it. We'll see what happens, And again, this wasn't only because the Giants would have been in the playoffs. I would have felt the same way, not as passionately, if the fucking Cowboys had won. But what really killed me was that we had it. We had our 5-game parlay. I fucking slalom down all the fucking twists and turns. And then Doug Peterson cost us $300 or whatever the fuck we would have got. Doug Peterson owes us that. And we'll storm the Capitol to go get it. I want my fucking money back.
I think the NFL has to do a draft lottery after this, like the NBA.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to this. Like the reports I heard is that what's the backup's name? Sudafed or whatever?
Stubblefield. What is Stubblefield? Yeah, whatever the fuck his name is.
Peterson had promised him playing time. So it was like if you remember in Rudy when all the players were coming in, like you got to let him play. It was like the opposite of that, where they're all going, no, fucking play Hurts. and he still put him in. So he promised him playing time. And then the other argument he promised him. He promised, I will get you.
What did they pinky swear?
Yeah. He promised him playing time, and he put him in to lose the game. And then people are saying, well, it's a smart move because now they get the 6th pick instead of the 9th pick. And it's like, your GM's a fucking moron, and he's proven that with contracts and bad moves. It doesn't matter what pick you have if you don't have the right guy making the pick.
Driving down from New York down to DC, I passed through Philly Sports Station for 2 hours, and it was the greatest part of the drive because I mean every one of these filthy animals calls in, and they hate their GM. They add 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and it just fucking they hate it. Now I'm like, they fucking hate this guy. They hate him, the GM. So I'm like, I'm surprised that they're going to let this guy, he's not going to bumble the 6th or the 9th pick. It's like, what does that matter? Win the fucking game. Yeah. You don't have a guy that's like a GM that's like a fucking master.
But the bigger thing is none of the players other than Studfield or whatever the fuck his name is, none of them wanted Hurts out of the game. Peterson made that move. He's not getting fired. So you've basically lost an entire season where they're going to tank because they're not going to want to play for him. He's lost the room. So you kiss 2021 goodbye. It's not going to happen for you.
Guess what? I mean, Carson Wentz is gone, or so, you lost him. He's gone. Okay, and you kind of pissed off Jalen Hurts because I don't know what you're looking. I mean, are you looking at for the backup right now? Is that what we're evaluating? We're spending the 4th quarter
you're
of a game that has
the backup.
Yeah, to find the 3rd or possibly 2nd string quarterback.
And go back and watch that game closely. You'll see a couple of plays. They're literally Philly linemen that are just not even trying to block. They're going through the motions and just letting guys go by. They didn't want him in there. Like they gave up. They were pissed.
They also screwed over Sudfeld. This is what he's going to be known for now.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, right? You're saying to yourself, okay, am I going to come? Oh, the game's pretty close. Maybe I'll come in but that D line is like, it's no joke. You can't just send anybody out there. You can't, that Chase Young is a fucking next generation's like game changer. He's a terror, a true terror. Like, fuck, as a Giants fan. Daniel Jones must just have nightmares about this guy for the next 8-10 years coming after him because he is a generational defensive player. And, you also have the Sweat on the other end, who's fucking the last year's first round. It was great. I mean, they collapse pockets quickly. So at least with Hurts, he has the ability to get out, scramble a little bit, look, and then take off. Stubblefield, whatever the fuck his name is, he looked like I would look like if I was like, throw me in there. This is like not it's collapsing so quick. He gets his first option. If that's closed, it's like, well, what the fuck do I do now? Bingo, I'm on the ground. And next thing you know, it's 4th down. We're kicking the ball. So, I mean, it was quick as that. I don't know how, even as an evaluation, it's almost like they were driving in a Grand Prix, right? And then fucking Doug Peterson just handed the wheel to Stubblefield and said, now you take over. It's like, let's ease into this thing here.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
And the other thing that just doesn't make sense is like you practice with these guys. You know what they can do.
Yeah.
So unless he's showing you something in practice that makes you go, oh, I need to see this in an actual game situation, I don't get what the evaluating's about. What's there to evaluate? You scouted the guy before you signed him. You see him in practice every day. I mean, they're going to be one of the worst teams next year because no one's going to want to play for Peterson. And on top of that, he's a terrible coach. We've talked about it. Best player on the team's Miles Sanders. Doesn't use Miles Sanders the whole year. Calls bad games. And they kept him. They'll get the 6th pick. They'll waste the 6th pick.
What do they do with Wentz?
I don't think anybody's going to want him because there's going to be better quarterbacks that are going to be available.
I disagree. I disagree with you. I mean,
his contract's too big. Who's going to want to take on that contract?
I'm sure there's a way that he could restructure something, make it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how you would do it. There's, they could figure out how to do a restructuring thing with some sort of the Eagles pay a part of the salary or whatever it is. And they're going to have to eat part of it, I'm sure, and they're not going to get what they necessarily would want back. But I mean, he's not going to be the starting quarterback, maybe unless you fire Doug Peterson, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to fire Doug Peterson and probably the GM too, and go that direction. And I don't know if
what's fired. Save this episode. A year from now, we're going to be talking about how they're fired.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is, if you fired him tomorrow, then you could decide, hey, I can bring in someone that could rework with Carson Wentz here, get him back to, his head screwed back on straight, have a great backup at Jalen Hurts and develop him and go from there. You don't have too many pieces. I mean, the defense isn't that bad. They didn't have Fletcher Cox, which sucked, but they still played pretty good defense. I mean, look, Alex Smith was pretty okay, but I mean, he didn't win them the game.
Washington's offense was inept.
Huge, nobody got a first down for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. I mean, they got converted a third down for a while. So it's not like their defense, they held them, but it's a shit show now in Philly, and it fucking cost us this week. I'm so upset, Lucas. I thought we had the last win of the year, 3 in a row. I thought we were 3 in a row, yeah. Coming in hot, 3 in a row. But congrats to the Giants, man. I'm glad they won that game. I thought we were going to lose. I really thought. I'm going to throw something through this TV.
My whole family game.
Yeah. But we pulled it out, and so better luck next year. That's how it goes. By the way, did you guys hear Francisco Lindor to the Mets?
Yep.
Yeah, it's done.
It's a great move.
Ooh, the Mets are fucking. I mean, this Cohen guy, I saw on the cover of the Post or whatever, they were like, he made $1.4 billion last year. Okay, in 2020, in a year where nobody made any money, this guy made So he's like, I'm a winner, and I'm going to build a winner. And Lindor, I mean, they have a good hitting team. McNeil, Pete Alonso. Now you add Lindor. They have arguably the best pitcher in baseball in DeGrom. Syndergaard's coming back this year. They got Carlos Carrasco in the deal as well. Now they gave up some young, good players, but those guys we'll see what happens, guys. They could be great or they could be fucking who knows. But you got a guy in Lindor that you could pay now, make him 8, 6, 7, 8 years at hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's your face of your franchise. So I'm happy for the Mets. I mean, not as a Yankee fan, I still want DJ LeMahieu fucking signed, sealed, and delivered. And I think that will get done. But the Mets are making moves. I don't even know if they're the best team in the NL East, but they're trying to be. I think the Braves still have them, and they have an argument as to why they have division titles. But it's gonna be a fun division to watch. They're gonna be a good team. I mean, the bullpen's still a little suspect, and if somebody gets hurt, you can never know what happens. But on paper, right now, they're a good team, the Mets. So,
do you think the season's going to start on time?
When is it supposed to start?
Well, spring training's in like February.
It's supposed to start at the end of March, but I hear the big debate is the owners don't want to play unless they can have fans in the stands, and it seems unrealistic to think that there's going to be, 30 teams with fans by March.
I think you'll get limited fans in the stands in most places. So, look, by then you could have probably 50 million people have been vaccinated. So you may be able to think where it's like, if you've been vaccinated, come support our. Well, no, think about it.
It's just going to be the elderly.
Well, it's like the old people and probably the first responders. Like, hey, if you've been vaccinated and you're that important, come on down to fucking Wrigley Field and come watch the Cubs play.
The worst waves in sports.
Elderly people are most baseball fans anyway.
They love listening to the game at home on the radio.
No cheering. Everyone's just keeping score the old-fashioned way.
Oh, dude, I love keeping score at a baseball game. Are you kidding me? I love it. Get a nice blanket, put it on my lap, get my drinks around me, sharpen my pencil. No, I think baseball I think there'll be an abridged sort of spring training. And then I think it'll start on time. Fuck these guys if they don't. I mean, you can have the Bills are letting 7,500 people in to watch the playoff game, and that's New York. And New York's like
6,700, and they're all vaccinated.
Oh, I thought they had to get just negative COVID tests. They're all vaccinated.
Oh.
I don't know.
Negative COVID test. They're being tested on
Still,
site.
6,700 spread out. It's outdoors. It's not a dome.
Yeah. So they can put, baseball. I mean, the only issues you'll have is if there's still like a ban on travel to Canada. That's, I think you might have your Canadian teams again sort of figuring out what they're going to do. How's hockey doing it in a couple weeks? They're starting up, right?
I think you're going to have limited fans in some spaces.
But I mean, you could travel to Canada. Like, it's not in the bubble, right? It's not in Canada.
They're doing like they're doing a thing where all the Canadian teams are in a division, and then the American teams are split up into divisions across the country.
Oh, wow.
So it's a whole different format. So it's like, I don't know how many Canadian teams there are now, 6 or 7 or 8, and they're all just playing each other a bunch of times.
And they're gonna play the entire season like that, correct?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what they're doing for the playoffs. Maybe things will be different by the time the playoffs happen, that they can just have it wherever and people can go about their business. But yeah, it's going to suck. If you're a Canadian team, you're going to have to travel. Like if you're Vancouver, flying across the country to Toronto every other week. I mean, it's going to be brutal for traveling.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Because you have to go, that's your division. So you have to
You're
play
be
probably
worn down. Yeah.
So they'll never play. The Canadian teams will never play an American team.
Not in the regular season.
So how are they going to do a Stanley Cup final with the Canadian team versus the American team? That doesn't seem fair because you only have 5 or 6 teams in Canada.
I don't know how the playoffs will work. I think then it'll be restructured and they'll have to do like another bubble situation. And people will quarantine and then it'll be in a space. But hopefully by then, if it's a full, it's not 82 games, but 56 should take us into next fall. So
can we play
by then,
we could play on the border. Like we'll find our lake or something. We'll just have the 2 teams play.
They are going to do a couple of outdoor games. I'm excited about that. They're doing that again this year.
Oh, that's cool. They're fun, those things. There was one in Yankee Stadium.
Lake Tahoe. They're doing a couple at Lake Tahoe.
Ooh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Kings Ducks or San Jose or something?
I don't remember the teams, but I know they're going to play multiple games, and I know Canada's going to have a game as well somewhere.
Awesome. That sounds good. I saw Joe Barnick yesterday had a great tweet. He's like, this better not fuck up opening day for hockey. That's right, Rogue. That's right. We need more sports back in action. Well, do you guys want to do The Bachelor or do you want to do fucking football? What do you want to do first?
Fuck The Bachelor. I'm already out. We're 1 episode in. And
By the way,
just
I
watching that going, what the? I picked every wrong person. Like, dude, you couldn't have picked better terribly than I did.
As soon as I heard him pull Chris Hansen aside and say, look, here's the deal. I'm the first Black Bachelor, right? And Chris Hansen's like, yeah, I know. And he's like, yeah. And there's a lot of probably old traditional people that expect me to pick a certain. And he's like, yeah, that's not what my jam. And I was like, no.
No, you know what?
You cannot reveal the first one that you like. I know you want a white girl.
Before we even got there, Steve, when they did the whole montage with him and his white mother.
I know. And Tracy goes, he's going to, because she's folding laundry. I held her captive. And then Jonah comes running in the room. He goes, I want to be the Bachelor. How old do you have to be the Bachelor? I go,
no.
You got to be at least 18 and have a job. And Tracy's like, you're never going to be the Bachelor. And he thought it was all guys just trying to meet girls. And he's like, wait, there's one guy for 32 girls. And then he saw the girl that walked in her underwear. And Jonah's like, that girl's the winner. She wins. I want her. And I was like,
who's that?
Some girl walked in. I mean, Emma.
I obviously didn't watch it. I'm sorry.
The entrances this year. Yeah, the entrances this year were remarkable. This one girl walks in. She's got a clothes rack, 2 dresses on it. She's in a robe, but you can clearly see she's just bra and panties, right? And she's walking over and she's like, I spent all day trying to figure out what to wear, and I just want to wear it for you. So I figured you just like this. And she's like, so you pick. And he's like, okay. And he's like, that one. And then, there she is.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there she is.
That is
And then,
bold.
I mean,
My girl.
Yep. Now, that being said, she's probably going to be around for a little bit, right?
I mean, yeah, that's great TV.
Yes, she was a nightmare. Then I don't even think she put the dress on. Then she walked in. She's like, "What's up?" And everyone's like, like women hate each other, especially on that show. And I don't think there's one
they're
friendship
supposed to
ever
hate
built.
each other.
I haven't seen one like, hey, you know what? I met my best friend in The Bachelorette. Like neither one of us won, but we connected so much, and now we're so close. I could just say that we're best friends. No, they loathe each other from the moment. And this one comes walking in, and that it was remarkable. Some of these entrances that they had, tons of trips. The one girl with the dildo that came out, like I didn't know what that was. She goes, "Look, here's the deal. This has helped me get through quarantine, so I want to gift it to you." And she comes and she hands him a dildo.
A used dildo.
I
Yeah,
mean, I'm
they
going to assume
censored
it's
it.
used. Yeah, they
They
put a
did?
block.
That's the best part. The base
Yes.
was uncensored, but there was a little black rectangle. And she was like walking. She didn't put it down and like, okay, that was a funny gag. She had it the entire episode. It's on tables. She went to get his attention. She tapped a girl on the shoulder with the dildo.
She used it as a prop. First of all,
the end of
That's
it, not like the
okay.
the other
Yes,
end.
exactly.
That's disgusting.
With the dick part, right? Oh, that's the uncensored one right there. Because I see the head and everything on that one. Yeah,
Like, that stuff has to be scripted. They're like, which one of you wants to bring your dildo out on stage? Which one of you wants to walk out in your underwear? Like,
Yeah, it's all probably scripted.
I'm sure that they bring like, hey, what's your wildest suggestion? How do you see your version of meeting Matt for the very first time? Like,
and she was like, I want to be buck naked, and they were like, we can't do that. But
yes, but look, here's the deal. Let's marry that idea with some lingerie, and they probably go like, and she's too stupid. She's probably like, okay, I'll do it. And they're like, you know what? Just to class it up, like, why don't you bring in 2 dresses and say you couldn't decide and like make it? And then she's like, okay, but I just was gonna suck his cock, and that's literally, I think, one girl came in with the 4 people holding her, and she's a girl named Victoria. And I mean, honestly, I think that the producers, this was a mean one. Guys, did you think that casting her was mean? I mean, look, I'm not gonna say she's not pretty, but we'll pull a picture up. Her name's Victoria. She wants to be called Queen Victoria. She actually wears a crown.
Queen.
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. And she has like a scepter and the whole fucking thing. And so she
doesn't want to be. She was born a queen. It's her
born
job.
a queen. Yeah. Now
she looks like a handful.
Oh boy. You can't even imagine. Now this dress. Do you remember when like Mariah Carey came out and when she couldn't sing her own Christmas song at that thing, and she was like, they shoved her into a dress and they were like, "You're still elegant." Like, that's what this girl reminded me of. Like, she walked in, she looked like she was a little drunk, but then you just saw she was just like had a really overboard personality, and then she keeps it going. Like, I didn't know if it was like hey, this is going to be a joke at the beginning, and no, she made like the girls call her queen. She like tried to boss them around.
Got on the show because of this queen personality that she wants to
100%. 100%.
They were like, look, she might not look the part, but like this will make for fantastic television.
Now, again, this is a television show. I understand that. He picked her at the end. He had other choices. He kept her in the game.
That was a producer pick for sure. When you're at the end like that, come on.
But that only happens if you're gonna pick a white girl at the end, and that's what's going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen. And had I known, like I would have completely changed my thought process. But I thought to myself, there's no way.
We all went in blind, Steve. We all went in blind, and you came out on top. You've got the most skin in the game.
There it is.
So we had.
Is that because you had the girl who showed up in her underwear? So it's literally more skin.
I had that girl.
Okay.
But we can't count. There were 32 girls. We drafted 30. You had 8 move on to the next round. Lucas had 7, and I have 6.
Ooh.
And what about the 2 we didn't draft? We didn't even draft 2 girls?
They both moved on. So Emma, if you want them,
those are mine. I'll take them.
Oh my God, we missed two girls. Two
Yeah,
girls.
How
I'm
do we
looking at my
miss
sheet
two?
while I'm watching it going, who the fuck is Sydney and Piper?
Oh yeah, Piper moved on.
Yeah.
And Piper's not that bad looking. She's got crazy hair, right?
We missed her.
I love
Fuck.
it. I have crazy hair. I'll take Piper.
No, yeah, you should. She's a good chick, especially I think she's gonna vibe with him real
Yeah,
well.
we'll say this right now. If either Sydney or Piper win, Emma wins the whole thing. Throw out the point system.
Fuck yeah.
But as of now, Steve is.
And
in
I'll storm the
driver's seat
Capitol
with
building.
most.
I'll storm if Emma
I'll do
wins
it
with
with
two
you.
people. Yeah, no, it was crazy. Where are they gonna go? What are they gonna do? Like this is gonna be a fucking.
They're just gonna be crying in different parts of the hotel. The whole, based on what the preview of the season was, it was just all of them crying in different rooms.
Yeah, that's it. Like this. First of all, it's got to be a hotel because it looks like the hotel I stayed at Graceland. It looks like Graceland Mansion. It's insane. That's not a fuck. I mean, because I think the other one burned down, right? The other, the mansion, the old Bachelorette mansion burned down in like whatever, one of the fires that were out here. So they had to find a new spot. So I guess they do need a lot of real estate, considering the fact that they must. I mean, it has to be 32 rooms. Everyone's got to have their own room. Then they have to go places. They're going to go on horseback riding, outdoor shit, freeze their asses off. I'm sure the fires fucked them up.
It's definitely a hotel. I don't know where it is, but yeah, it's not a house because the restrooms were labeled.
I like the one girl that was like, I didn't even get to talk to him, and I took 2 COVID tests for this. Yeah. Like she was like so pissed off. Oh yeah, 4.
It was my girl.
4.
Oh my God.
I had like 3 of my 4 that were eliminated didn't talk to him, but the queen got like 2 hours with the guy.
What were your favorite moments from the episode?
I just watched it last night.
None.
Honestly, I don't really care for the show to begin with. I just think it's fun that we do this. There was nothing really memorable about any of the girls. None of them seem interesting. Like past seasons, they've had jobs. Like the big selling point was one girl is the caretaker to her father who sadly has ALS. But it's like, okay, so you're doing this, which I'm sure takes 3 to 4 months of your life, and you're not looking after your father.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, these are the last moments you could be spending with your dad instead you're trying to find.
What you're telling the Bachelor is you're a selfish idiot who is chasing fame.
Oh, remember when he asked that one girl, he's like, oh, you're Puerto Rican? How's your family with all the stuff going on in Puerto Rico? And she's like, there were earthquakes and fire and, everyone I'm really worried. And all of a sudden the dildo hits her in the back of the head. Like, can I get some time with Matt, please? And she's like, I lost 3 family members. And the dildo just hits her in the ear.
Look, man, this is the 25th season of this show. They are really just out of
scraping the bottom of the barrel.
They're out of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought they were going to do the geriatric version, which I was psyched about, but I guess because of COVID, they can't do that because, they don't want they'll have, that's like truly risking, like 4 or 5 people will die probably. But yeah, it's, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, and his laugh bothers me. His laugh really bothers me.
Yeah.
And we're going to hear a lot of, like, it's very fake and forced. It's like when a comic has a joke where they laugh in the joke and you see that joke and they laugh at the same spot every time. That's his laugh. And he's going to laugh a lot because none of these girls are that funny.
The prayer thing starting off, I'm like, I don't think God has anything to do with any of this, guys.
Well, speaking of that, what about the girl last year that lost basically because she was too religious? And she's watching this going, why did I go with this heathen pilot?
I know.
I could have been with Johnny Praise a lot.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. I'm sure Johnny prays a lot. Doesn't really. By the way, he's a real estate broker in Manhattan. I haven't seen one picture of him and doing anything in Manhattan. Not one. Probably never even fucking been to Manhattan. I want to see, like, where's your place? Where's your setup? Where do you work? How do you get to take off this much time? Like, what's your quarantine been like? What have you been doing? Are we going to get into any serious shit? I want fucking real. I want facades broken down. And I also want Queen Victoria to stay on for as long as possible because I think she might be the only thing interesting in this whole season so far.
Yeah, that would be the twist.
I liked her chiding the other contestants. Like, why don't you're a marketing major? Why don't you market yourself to Matt.
Yeah. Market yourself to Matt. And you know what? She's right. She's like, I'm queening myself to him. I'm obviously putting on the best queen performance I can. I don't see you marketing yourself. She's right. She may win. In this whole year, dude, I'm telling you right now, she's going to go further than a lot of people think she's going to go because she may straighten it up pretty quick. Who has her, by the way?
Lucas.
Oh, God
Telling
damn.
you, Luke.
Oh, yeah,
based
she's
on
making the
based on
Final
our
Four.
list, and I'll post it so
Who-
you know. But based on our list, like growing up on a farm has its advantages when you can just look at livestock and go, "That's going to be the winner." Because he literally
True.
picked
True.
out of like the 5 girls that I think have a chance. You have one of them. He has 4 of them.
I know. He's got a lot. Yeah, he had the girl that got the rose, right? The first impression rose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And
I
you
didn't
have
know
that
she
girl
was
from
that
Puerto
low.
Rico too, right? I think he
Yep.
likes her because
Yep.
he was like, I remember when she came up, he's like, I don't know what to say right now. And I was like, that's like a Kardashian moment. That's like when Kanye saw Kim. By the way, tough breakup there too.
Yeah,
Another
that's
thing.
not a good segue.
Like you didn't see that coming like 10 miles away.
I mean, yeah, hello, of course. But it's like, do we have to start the year off like this?
What a rough opening week for 2 of the 3 top presidential candidates.
True. Divorce, a riot. I mean, it's insane. Is Kanye fucking a man now as well? Is that what I'm hearing?
Wait, what?
I heard he was fucking a person named Theodore.
No, Jeffrey.
Did I hear Jeffrey or Theodore? I didn't know what it was. That's is that
Cassie, is the hairdresser, is that a man or a woman?
is that a man?
The who Kanye's allegedly having an affair with, is it a man or a woman? It's a man. He's a makeup artist.
Yeah, well, that
Male.
doesn't really answer the question.
Oh, okay, I guess he tweeted, I can't wait for Sunday.
Is he going like? Is he a fluid direct? Is he a?
So
Was he born?
I'm getting reports.
What?
I'm getting
Okay.
reports from our Kanye expert
It's
Cassie.
Jeffree Star.
She
Yeah.
is saying that Jeffrey apparently tweeted a little while ago that he can't wait for Sunday service.
But he's like egging it on, whether or not it's true or not.
So
Okay, but that's a woman, right? Or is Jeffree Star?
I think Jeffree Star, is she a drag queen?
I don't
not
want to get
sure.
canceled here.
I don't
wanna-
either.
I've already had a rough enough week. I can't get canceled the first fucking.
I know there's a huge Jeffree Star is a huge cosmetics line.
I mean, that's like. Do you think he fucked? Like, do you think what's
we're
going
gonna
on
get
there?
the
Where is?
craziest Kanye album of all time this
What?
year.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Right.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll get a Kardashian album too. I'm sure she's got something to say about this whole thing too. And there's no more show. So what is she gonna? What's her outlet? I mean,
Maybe they'll finally disappear.
oh please, come on.
It's not happening.
What are you
I
nuts,
know.
Emma?
Let
They
me
all had
dream.
kids for a reason.
I know.
Fucking A, dude.
My kids' kids will be listening to the Kardashian drip.
God damn, dude. By the way, are we I'm in California where it's completely locked down. I don't know what the rate is here, but it's like bad in California. You know that?
I was told by our Kanye expert that it's 1 person every 8 minutes is dying right now in LA
Damn,
County.
dude. Damn. God damn, man. Get me that vaccine. I figure I'm probably next up. Nobody else wants to take it. So I'll take it tomorrow. Please. We're supposed to have 1 million vials laying around somewhere. Give me one of them. Shoot it up my fucking arm. I need it. I want to get back on the fucking road, man. This is crazy town. Lucas, you gonna take it? Oh yeah, you are.
A few of my family members have been vaccinated already.
Oh, they have? They're doing good?
Yeah. My sister, my dad.
Awesome. Perfect. Fucking lay away, dude. Let's end this fucking thing. Let's do football. Right? Because we love that. It's the
Let's do
playoffs,
football.
everyone. It's the playoffs. I'm
This
excited
is
about
gonna
these
be-
games.
Such a great weekend.
Are you guys excited about? Well, let's not do your game first.
We are the first game though.
Yeah, that's such bullshit, by the way. Let's put Tom Brady
Didn't
in
you guys-
prime time
I
again in
know.
what will be probably the worst game of the weekend.
Well,
What a
because think about it
fucking-
though.
What a fucking joke.
It was him versus either the Giants, which is a good story, or the Cowboys, which is America's team, or now they got the worst case scenario. They're probably not psyched that they got DC, but you know what? DC's
They're
probably
way better. Like the other, I'm not saying the Bills necessarily need to be prime time, but the other game that got buried early Sunday, that Baltimore-Tennessee game, that's probably going to be the best game of the whole slate.
Yeah.
That's going to be a crazy good game.
Plus, it's past Tom Brady's bedtime.
Exactly.
We'll wait for it. Let's do it in order then. Indianapolis, Buffalo. I mean, how do you want it? Do you want to do? We'll just do them all. We'll do all 6, or what is it? 6 games?
6 games. So you can do
we'll just do them all.
And I'll do my 6. Or do you want to do it together? Do you want to do it collectively
well, let's see
together? Or do you want to
look, I like Buffalo and I like them to cover. I think you guys have the best team right now. Honestly, the best team in football, to be honest with you.
I also got reports. I'm happy that we're recording this on a Thursday and we get a little bit more knowledge of what's going on. But the Colts just lost Rocky Sin, their top cornerback, for Saturday. He will not play.
Okay.
So and Cole Beasley and Stephon Diggs both practiced with the team, I'm assuming in full, so they'll be good to go. So Buffalo has all of its weapons, including John Brown. Everyone's good to go against a slightly weakened Colts defense.
I mean, look, if you want to take them on the money line, not to jinx anything, or do you want to just take them with the points?
No, this is a game they should win by a touchdown at home. So give me the 6.5.
I got them at 7, but
my bookie right now is 6.5.
Okay, great. Perfect. Even better. Rams Seahawks.
This one I've been going back and forth on, and I decided I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I can see a scenario where the Rams do win, but again, I just don't believe in Goff, and there's no guarantee that he plays. He probably will. That seems to be what's coming out of LA, is that he is going to be good to go. I honestly think Wolford gives him a better chance than Goff does. But they get Cooper Kupp back. Cam Akers is good to go. And that defense is brutal. But I think just with his experience, Russell Wilson will be able to get them over the hump. Seattle's defense has been playing a little bit better. They're still not great. But, of all the quarterbacks to face, Jared Goff is probably the best one that you'd want to go up against right now.
I concur.
So
I agree.
They're
take them on the money line. I mean, it's 3.5. I have it.
Yeah, minus 180 on the money line. This is where we may disagree.
Okay.
I not only think that Washington covers the 8 points that they're giving me, but I think they beat Tampa Bay.
Ooh, boy, you got me on the covered, and I almost went to the beat Tampa Bay.
We'll go with the +8. We'll go with the +8, but we're talking about the defense that DVOA, they finished overall 2nd against the pass, 11th against the rush. Tom Brady does not handle pressure well. They're going to put pressure on him. And did anyone see the clip of Chase Young walking off the field after they beat Philly?
He wants Tom Brady.
I'm coming for you, Tom Brady.
Look, that doesn't mean anything, of course.
It doesn't. But he has been waiting to play.
At least he knows who to tackle, so that's good. That's but I don't know if they're going to win. If Alex Smith was healthy or they had like a decent quarterback situation going on, I would say that they might have a chance because they are home.
That's the unnecessary thing is their offense is just terrible, but their defense is really damn good. And I still just don't believe in Brady. And he has proven when he's played good defenses this year, he hasn't played well. He's played mostly terrible defenses, or he's gotten teams on really inopportune weeks. So
he has a lot of weapons.
Absolutely. Give me Washington +8, but I would take it. If we were doing separate, I would take them on the money line. I believe in them that much.
I'll let Lucas decide. What does he want to do?
Do separate.
Okay.
I think it's crazy to bet against him. I don't know. Is Wirfs going to be the one blocking Chase Young?
I believe so.
I think he is. And they had a couple clashes in the Big Ten, and I think Wirfs handled them okay. So I'm not too concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I almost said their old name. The Washington football team, they have no offense. They don't, man. No offense.
Well, McLaurin had been hurt for a few weeks. He gets another week where he's been able to rest.
They had a lot of drops.
Logan Thomas has emerged.
A lot of drops.
Gibson should be good to go. So maybe you see a little bit more out of them. Tampa Bay has a great defense, but this is a game with a pretty low over-under at 44.5. It's the second lowest on the slate. I mean, I could see Tom Brady having a really bad game and no one being too surprised about it.
Look, I don't see him losing the game, but I see them getting close and him getting beat up and being like within a touchdown, 7 points at the end. So
give me the +8.
Yeah, I'm taking I would take the Washington +8. I said 8.5, but
we can buy a half a point if you want.
I know. I thought I had
it's right now on my bookie. It's +8.
All right. Baltimore, Tennessee.
Baltimore.
This is the tough, really, right away.
Baltimore.
Tennessee's defense.
But these are the playoffs. It's all about peaking at the right time. That's why the Bills, I think, have a great chance of making it to the Super Bowl, is because they're peaking. Yeah, so are the Ravens.
I know, but but Derrick Henry is also peaking, dude.
But remember how bad Marquise Brown was all year? He has six touchdowns in the last 3 games.
But
Lamar Jackson's throwing a little better. He's running like crazy. J.K. Dobbins has stepped up, and Tennessee has 0 defense. At least the Ravens can kind of stop Derrick Henry, and they can kind of slow down Tannehill and A.J. Brown and those weapons. Tennessee has nothing.
If Derrick Henry has 165 to 200 yards and a touchdown, does Tennessee win the game?
They could still lose that game.
Because I think he's going to have that kind of game. So, I mean, I don't know. This is the toughest game for me.
We'll do 2 separate bets because I am so all in on Baltimore. I could never in a million years endorse a bet where Tennessee is going to win this game because I just don't believe it. I'm looking at what's in front of me, and Baltimore is playing far better football.
Well,
and keep in mind,
how about you take Baltimore and I'll take Tennessee +3.5.
Okay. I got +3 right now on my book.
Okay.
So we'll do yours first. So I got
because we could both win that one and both be right.
Yes. All right. Chicago and New Orleans. This is another game that I don't think will be that competitive, assuming that guys are healthy for the Saints. Kamara still hasn't been activated, but it seemed based on what Sean Payton said, he'll be available, and he's willing to play him without him practicing all week. He's on the COVID-19 list. Michael Thomas was supposed to practice yesterday and today. I believe he did, but I haven't seen reports that confirm that yet. So Drew Brees should have everybody, except maybe Taysom Hill, who is in concussion protocol right now.
I liked, New Orleans to cover the 10. Even though the Bears have been playing better. I don't with all the weapons, if Kamara's going to play and Michael Thomas is going to play, Drew Brees at home in the playoffs, I think.
And we're talking about Mitch Trubisky, and we're talking about the number 1 overall defense in football. So I would also I agree with you on that. They'll cover the 9.5.
Yep.
And this last one, this is another one that's like no brainer, not even close. It could be a 20-point spread. Give me Pittsburgh all day. Cleveland is fucked.
Yeah.
Even before the COVID, if they had no COVID whatsoever, I would still be on Pittsburgh.
If Stefanski's calling plays,
he's not.
I'm saying if he was, I don't think it's a done deal that you'd also just go with Pittsburgh. That's my thought.
No. Because this is the problem. They played him last week. They won by 2 points against all the backups. But the big issue that I had with his play calling was he was splitting up the series where he was giving Chubb a series and then Hunt a series. And Chubb is your guy. You're a run first team. Chubb is the best running back, probably top 3 in football right now. You have the best offensive line, and you're splitting them up. And running backs, they need that consistency. They need the reps. That puts a huge wrench in that offense. And I don't think Baker Mayfield's that great of a quarterback. Cleveland could step up and make a statement by beating Pittsburgh and kind of save the city, since they just lost their star shortstop and nothing else is really going on for them right now. But they're missing a lot of guys with COVID.
I think
they're
the Steelers
not a great defense, and the Steelers 2 weeks ago against the Colts kind of showed, okay, whatever was going on for 3 weeks, we've corrected it. And Roethlisberger has been able to rest his ankle. Whatever was bothering him probably won't bother him this week.
Do you want the 6.5 points too?
I'm showing it at -6 right now.
Oh, okay.
Give me the points.
So Pittsburgh with the points covering the 6. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Me too.
So let's see. So you have we'll do your card first. You got the Bills -6.5, Seattle on the money line, Washington football team +8, the Titans +3, the Saints -9.5, Steelers -6. That's going to net Lucas $985.06.
There we go, buddy.
Pretty good.
And now this is what we're actually going to win.
Okay, here we go.
Refresh. Okay, so I want the Bills -6. I want the Seahawks. And I will do the 3.5, but I'm going to buy the half point to get it off the hook. I want Washington football team on the money line.
Oh, boy.
I want the Ravens -3. I want the Saints, but because I don't know the status of Kamara and those guys, I'm going to just take them on the money line because I got action other places. I'm going to take the Steelers -6. And I'm going to buy my point here for Seattle. So my $25 is going to win Lucas $1,490.97.
Dude, we got big fucking wins this week, kid. Big goddamn dreams. I'm loving it. I'm loving what's happening, guys. I hope that the Bills win this week. I truly do. For you guys, as brutal as it was watching that game with you guys last year.
Can I say this?
What?
Win or lose, this has been the most fun I've had watching a Bills team in so long. Like, I got emotional during the second Patriots game where it just felt like the weight was off the shoulders. I was having the time of my life watching the second team kick the shit out of the Dolphins. It wasn't even close. Tua was so bad. There's nothing you can do to bring him back. That was a bust of a pick. They're going to have to go another quarterback again. Oh, it was beautiful.
Well, I was just about to say congratulations and turn it into a nice moment, but gloating and bringing poor Miami into it, it's got nothing to do with them.
Fuck the Dolphins.
All right. Well, look, fine. I can't disagree with you. Fuck the Dolphins.
You don't sit Fitzmagic. And don't
By the
tell
way,
me that Tua's got 7 wins when 3 of those wins were Fitzmagic coming in and closing.
Golf is back, ladies and gentlemen, in case you were worried. The Tournament of Champions, the Century Tournament happening in Kapalua right now in Hawaii. I'm sitting here watching it in the background. It's magnificent. One day I'll get to play there. It's $320 a round. But I'll get out there one day. Oh God, people are surfing. It looks beautiful. So it's back. I'm excited about watching because it's in Hawaii, so I can watch tonight. And that's that. It's Thursday. It's a strange day to do the podcast, but it feels good.
One more thing about the Bills. This was the first year that they've swept their entire division.
Congratulations.
Ever.
I just came in my pants.
Yes.
Does anyone else have anything they'd like to add at all? Anything interesting they want to add? No. Forever hold your peace. We can do it again next week. No big deal.
We're gonna get aliens this year.
We are going to get aliens for sure.
That to look forward to. Hang on, everybody.
Coming. People are seeing, especially in Hawaii where they are, they're seeing fucking blue lights drop out of the sky and shit. So it's coming. And look, this is the natural. I'll lie to my kids again. Have there been aliens? Yes, there's been aliens before. Don't worry about it. Everything's normal. All right, everyone, that's the podcast for this week. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for listening. If you guys are interested, do you want to do a Patreon watch thing this week or no? Do you want to, or it's up to you?
You want to do Cleveland, Pittsburgh, or do you want to do Chicago, New Orleans?
What time's that?
It'll be on. Do you want to do Saturday or Sunday first of all?
Well, see which one people want to do. Which one?
I'll put a poll out and we'll see who wants to do what.
Perfect. All right. All right. That's it, guys. Thanks for listening this week, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Go Bills.